Alright, so for today I'm drawing some people with rats on their heads. Okay, you might notice that I'm drawing a lot of heads and they have rats on them. So these are basically rat scientists. And I drew a couple of mouse traps, and there's this little table in the middle, I guess, with a head underneath it. I guess it's like a table helmet with tubes and different experiments going on with that guy later on. And so this was a quick sketch. I was planning on turning this page into an entire scene, more of a comic looking styled page, but it turned more into a mess of heads and rats all over the place, running around. Some of them are melting into these scientists' heads, okay? That's not a good thing. We can't be having that. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So I like a couple of these heads. Most of them are pretty not to my liking. I don't really like them, honestly. This is just one of those drawings where I don't like it. And it probably has to do with the pen. I'm not super comfortable with this specific pen that I'm using here. So that's my excuse for today. Okay, look, I'll give myself 5 excuses a month. I think that's pretty reasonable. And so the pen was not to my liking. It's not to the best standard. So we're going to have to try out something else next time. But anyways, this is a little more of a chaotic drawing, as you can tell here. Later on, you can see there's this giant head on the right side, this weird looking guy who's eating rats. I'm not sure how safe that is, or if I don't think that's a good thing, okay? You probably shouldn't be doing that. But there he is. He's a scientist. He's a crazy physicist, maybe. Some kind of weird guy, you know. He just likes to nibble a bit on the rat tails. He's a bit scary, a little frightening. You don't want to mess with a scientist that's been in the lab too long. Okay? So, I like the top heads here. They're pretty good. And then the lower half of the drawing just kind of goes into a different world. It's another category of drawing that I haven't even been into yet, and I'm not sure what it is. What I'll do next time is just draw the rats and people separate. I was going to just draw the rats, but I figured I should add more because I don't want to make the video too basic, but sometimes I just put too much stuff together and it turns into this. You have rats getting melted, transfused into the skull of these bald science men. It's out there. It's different. But I was in the zone. I like this. I like what I was doing. I felt good while I was doing this. But the outcome is not always what I expect. Now that I look at this drawing more, I think what's really going on is the rats have gotten out of their cages and they're mad. They're angry. They've been trapped by these evil scientists in these little cages and they've finally been freed. That's just what happens. You have the rats, they've escaped, and now they're getting their revenge. That's how the world works sometimes.